to survive the hard winters and the poisons and toxins out in the environment. So now we're bringing in, setting up the hive, try to get it reasonably level, and just going to move the box up a little at a time. And then inside we found a lot of the frames were, because they've been sitting vacant for a number of years, they're deteriorated. So we've rebuilt the frames and we're going to be putting some new ones in a little at a time. So how we all run away from one bee when we see a bee coming by us here, and here's Jim is just right there dealing with a whole thousands of bees inside the box there, and very calm, cool, and collected. And this colony seems to be pretty docile, so it'd be a little mad, but not too much, you know, because he talks nice to him. He's very calming.
Yeah. Did you get me that hoe? You taking pictures?
Yeah, I was going to leave on to.
There's a bucket over there with the foundations in it.
I got it.
It's the blue container.
Yep.
I forgot it.
There we are. Now we're starting to take the box apart a little bit. We got the separator inside there. Eventually this is a one-level ranch home, so to speak, but it'll become a split level later on. We'll put another level on top there as the colony continues to grow in size and starts making broods and all inside and storing honey. We'll put a second level on. But right now we can see some of these frames are, you know, they're shot. So we're going to bring in, Joe's bringing in some new ones here. Joey B's here helping us out here.
So I'll just back out.
Okay.
So we see how beat up those are. Now we got some new ones here, so we'll just move, if there's any comb on any of those, we'll just move that over to the new frames. So that'll be my project for this weekend, rebuilding some of those frames. We got some more membrane. So we see some of the wax there, that white part, and that's the wax, and it's just covered with bees right now. Thousands of bees in there. Jim's got his bee suit on and his gloves. Hey, you still got to protect yourself when you're working there. You don't want to get there's one where they build look at the size of that comb they built on there. Just build it in space, so to speak, and it's just covered with bees. They're all working there, taking their pollen they're bringing in and some water they get from the bird bath and all, and they're just building their comb up like crazy. There's more comb there. The white part is the comb, if you can see that in the video. Very nice. So they're making the best of it. It's not exactly what we would do if we knew we were going to have them in there. We would have got some new frames in there right away for them. But we'll get it all, do a little first aid on the box here with some new parts, and they'll be happy. But they're very happy now. There's a lot of bees here. It's amazing. So this is a swarm that broke off from another larger swarm in a box somewhere in a tree or wherever. And they decided that there was too many, they were overcrowded, time to split up the family. So the queen went out, the scouts went out and looked around and found some spot. And there's the nest part. That's the beginning. The queen will be in that area. That's where the broods would be and all that.
They're making their own comb.
Yeah. So very industrious bees here, boy. They're working hard here to live in this box. So we'll help them out and make it even easier for them. So they're going back. So the swarm was moving in, and they found this. The scouts found this box, and they showed it off. They brought the queen around, and they a whole thousands of them left the original hive, and that hive still survived. That would have a new queen, or a couple of them, that would try to dominate that hive. And then this particular family now will move in here, and they like the queen, so they want to work for her. So they got a little stirred up now because we're kind of near the queen. So we get near the queen, they start getting mad at us. It's a breezy day. So there's one of our new frames that we're putting in. So new membrane. Takes about a half hour to clean it up, take all the wax off, and build it up. So there'll be some new parts in there. It's like we're renovating their rooms for them. So there's a new bedroom we just built for them. And put a few more in there, new ones. So we got new and old mixed in, so they be a good little building area for them to do. And they're exempt from any building permits. They just are allowed to work because they're naturally occurring. So we don't. So just like you wouldn't stand in the highway when cars are coming, you don't stand in the bee highway because they want to come in and out. And if you start standing there, like looking at them, like a couple feet away, they're going to get annoyed and you know, see you as a threat maybe. So you just want to stand to the side of the bee highway. So you're like standing on the sidewalk. Like think about it that way. You're standing on the sidewalk, looking out into the road where the bees are coming and going, and just let them do their thing, just like you would watch cars go by. You know, sometimes you get a bee will land on you or whatever, but the honeybees, they're pretty docile. They'll be stirred up here for a little while, just because he's messing with their house. But
They're confused, Dave. They moved them.
yeah, because we moved the house and now they got to relocate their GPSs now, so they can find their way back when they go out for their foraging. That was somebody in another yard. That was not anybody. Some kid playing. If you heard that scream in the distance, it was nothing related to the beehive. We smoke them a little bit more, and what they'll do now is they'll all start to work their way back in. All the ones that are out flying around, they'll just set in their compasses, and they'll be back inside there pretty quick. It's a nice day. Yeah, within a couple hours they'll calm down and things will be all back to normal. I'll just shut up for a few minutes and let Jim do his thing.
Now, how long do you think it would for all of them to figure it out?
Next time we're going to move it out further.
No, I'm saying right now for all these bees to basically settle back down right now.
They just got, when the ones come home, they were kind of lost because, hey, this is where our hive was. It's not there anymore. And they're looking for it. You know, they'll get the idea. They'll settle down after one day and they'll find the hive because they smell the queen. And just that one frame, Dave, is kind of messed up because they built it different ways. I got to go into it and check it again and try to like trim it, you know,
Okay.
and go back in again. You keep circling around that spot
Yeah.
where the hive was. And the other ones are calling them in. They're in the front entrance standing, throwing the scent of the queen out. So the other ones say, hey, we're over here.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
The science of bees and nature is just incredible.
Do you think
All the
within
things that are
an
going
hour
on
or
here.
two That all of those bees would find their way
Yeah,
right in?
well, a lot of them are out today, so it's going to take a little time because they keep coming back and they're kind of lost right now. But they'll find their way. They're just a little confused.
That's our material from the smoker can there. Just a little piece of cardboard there. The egg cartons, shipping little cartons, they do the best. So they just make smoke, but yet not
Darn nice, right, Joey?
too
Yeah,
choking.
No, that's a real nice.
Yeah. Next time we'll bring a metal can out with us here for fire safety. All right, and that's our visit from Jim, our beekeeper. So we'll leave these bees to themselves out here. We have some signs coming. We ordered some caution signs so that if somebody does come in the yard here and I'm not around there, just so they realize there's a beehive here and they don't come up on it. You know, if a kid comes in to get a ball from one of the neighbors or whatever. Then we're going to put one on the gate too. The yard is gated and fenced in, so we try to, you know, keep people out without coming in. So we'll just put some caution signs up. Now the reason I do that is because a couple years ago somebody's bird got loose. They had a tropical bird and it got loose, and then I didn't realize it was the next block over, and the kids were running around the neighborhood, hopping fences and running through yards trying to find the bird, and the bees were back here, and I was like, yikes, you know, we can't have you guys running back here. I had to call them off. Be putting a second story on. We have the parts here. We got the top addition, and we got 10 frames that are going to go inside with foundations, and the bees will build on those frames. So Jim has a little smoker going there. We see a lot of bees coming in. I don't know if you can see them on the video, but a lot of bees are out foraging now, and they're coming back and looking and say, hey, what's going on here? But they're just working away, going in and out, and they're not really bothering. It's a very docile group here. We're pretty happy here. It's got a nice calm queen and some calm bees, so they seem to be okay to be around. So just got to get the comb off so that we can put on the second story with the other thing. So the bees will work probably for another month or so at least. They're building their combs inside, building out their house, decorating and all, getting ready for the end of the season and the winter, because they got to start, you know, get all the babies out. So they got lots of workers and lots of foragers to go out. And they should not be making any new queen this year, I don't believe. It's getting kind of late for that. That's season's past now, because we're looking here, it's almost the end of June. So we're smoking that. See, we smoke a little bit, calm them down, and then we just scrape off the comb. It has all honey inside it and all. It's juicy, and you just eat it, sort of like chewing gum. You know, you just chew it till the sweetness is gone, then you just get rid of the wax. I guess some people make candles with them and other things, whatever you make out of wax. But we'll get that all out of the way, and then we'll pull out the frames, take a look at those, see how they're looking, make sure everything's okay in there. So see how Jim's very gentle. The bees he's just a friend of the bees. They seem to realize that. And he just works there very calmly. We have our little sign over here to the left. So that's in case somebody comes into the yard and I'm not around there, just to remind them that there's some bees here and you know, keep away. I don't want to have any problems with anybody. The bees are pretty docile. They would probably tolerate it, but if somebody, you know, a kid comes in the yard to get a ball or something and gets over there and gets, you know, too close there, you don't want to risk any problems. The main thing is, if you are near a bee colony or a beehive, is to stay out of the flight path. You know, they have their path coming in here. You can see how they all kind of fly in the same direction. They just go in one little slot in the front there, and that's where they go in and out. So you want to stay out of their flight path so they can come and go as they please, and they're just happy. They just want to work. They're there. They're not there to come after people or everything. They're just there to make honey, make combs, help the queen have babies, and to perpetuate the hive. That's their main goal in life, is to build the hive up so it's strong. And then if it gets really strong next year, it may even split off into 2 colonies. So we keep perpetuating the species. It was an exceptional year this year with the amount of bees that were swarming early in the spring. They were breaking off, so we had a lot of them going there. So here's our combs that came out. Really cool. You can see they're just oozing with honey. You can't get any fresher than that. That is unbelievably fresh. So now we're gonna, it's interesting, we have to use a little like spatula there, scraper, to, because the bees keep making more comb and more wax, and the little frames start to get kind of glued in place, so to speak, with all their work there, all the wax and everything. So we have to get them out, keep them loose. We check them, make sure the foundations are good. He's looking at them for any mites, checking general health, looking at the size of the combs. See, that's where we take one of these frames, and it's got a little wax piece up the middle.
It's got drone brood in it.
We got some drones here.
Yeah, this is drone brood.
Okay.
The big white.
Okay. Oh, see, special eggs there, so that's really good to have there. And the drones they're the ones that protect the hive.
They mate with the queen.
They're the ones that are providing services to the queen. So they're the mating with the queen there. So that's a sign of good health to the colony there, that the queen will have her boyfriends, so to speak, available to stop by. And
It's so heavy. I went
Yeah.
to move it. It was like a ton.
wow, right. So it's a very healthy colony. So now we're gonna make the move here and get it. Just one last move here. We like to have it out closer. The closer it is to early morning sun, the better it is, because that gets the bees going early in the morning. You want them to wake up and get out and start working early, so that they get a full working day. They don't work at night. They just, at nighttime, they're all inside taking a break. Okay, so got it all prepped. We've gone through all the frames there, got them all shaped up. Checked on everybody. Everybody looks good. And when do you do a mite treatment? Is that later?
That's like the latter part of July.
July. So
That's
July,
when you take the honey.
July, when there's harvesting done, and when you harvest some of the honey from the thing, then you treat for mites, esophageal mites, and all those are problematic for the bees. That's one of the things they say that are hurting the health of the colonies, esophageal mites, so we treat for those. So we have the second story is on. So it's amazing the amount of bees that were out foraging, and then a few of them came from inside the hive, but most of them were out foraging, and they're all coming back here now, and they're just kind of in a holding pattern here. I like Newark Airport on a busy day, someday, and they're just waiting for their final permission to land, and they'll all work, because they're only going through one little slot there. They just have one little opening in the bottom there, and the reason for that is for defense purposes, so that they only have a small area. So if robber bees or some other intruders try to get in there, the bees that are soldier bees that are in charge of security only have to defend a small area. So that's down on the lower left there. We'll see they go in there. Of course, because you don't want mice getting in there, and if you get another bee colony nearby, they may smell the honey and come looking for a free meal. So we don't want to encourage that. So we got some more. This is what's this, a separator they call this? What's this piece?
Inner cover.
Air cover. This is the air cover.
Inner cover.
Inner cover. This is the inner cover. So this helps to contain them, so they know where the top of the hive is. And that will be, their limit as to how high up they're going to go. And there's a hole in the middle, if you see that. So this is a little bit more of the, we just sterilize the scraper with the torch. Because obviously it's food product here. We want to keep it. So there's all the...
I'm going to try and keep it out of the sun, Dave, but it'll start melting.
Yeah. So this is all the comb coming off here. Excess comb. It's, you know, an area where we don't want comb, so that's why we're taking that off.
Burr comb. Burr comb.
Bear comb?
Burr.
Burr
Burr
comb.
comb.
Burr comb.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, there's honey in there, see it?
Yeah, look at all the honey. You see the liquid down in there?
Maybe a bee I put in there or something. Maybe part of propolis or something.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting the hive level here. Because it, you know, it needs to be leveled side to side, front to back. You know, especially because it's going to go, you know, if we put a third story on someday, we want to make sure that it's super level. And it's just like building a house. We're building a house for the bees. And we just shim it up in the bottom there. So the bees are coming back here. We still see a lot of them are getting readjusted here. Some are just out, you know, as they get acclimated to this new space here. So they got to work their way up to the second floor, do their thing. But they're just hovering around here, and we'll come back in about, you know, an hour or two. These guys will be back to work inside, building, starting to decorate the second story, so to speak. And the other ones will go back out and continue their job foraging. So that's our little roof we'll put on there. It's got metal on top, so we keep the rain out. And, you know, other bees, you know, it fits tight because we don't want other bees to come in. We want everybody to be trying to go in the same way. So we're just getting that to fit nice and tight there. We don't want to squish any of the bees, trying to get them out of the way. Put a little brick on top, so if you get a windstorm or something, it doesn't lift it off. There's a little weight up there. For our final little level check here.
Perfect.
Yeah, great. Okay.
We could always change the bottom if we have to. We could
Yeah.
always, I would have liked to use those new ones, but it's okay, and it's stable, and it's tilted perfect.
Okay, great.
You're all set now.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll
Very good bees.
work our way out of this area.
Very gentle bees.
Okay.
This is straight, Dave, you know?
Yeah.
Standing straight now.
So what else is important about putting on a second level? Why we're doing that?
To give them more room so they don't swarm.
Okay.
You know, if we let it go like that, they would probably swarm.
Okay.
Because they're overcrowded.
Swarming mean they would break off into a
Yeah.
subfamily, and they would move somewhere else where there's more space. So the more space we give them here, the longer they'll stay here and do their thing. And obviously,
Overcrowded, they'll swarm.
yeah, just like everything, like you build an apartment building with one story, it's filled up pretty quick and people go somewhere else. So if we build an apartment building with 2 or 3 stories, then more people put it in the water. Yeah, there we go. A little fire safety here. It's been awful dry lately. So I noticed, Jim, the bees have been on my bird bath a lot, coming for water. So they got little gunga dins that go out and carry water back to the hive.
Water carriers.
Water carriers. So, you know, these bees, they all got a purpose. It's quite a little civilization they got going there. Everybody has a purpose to keep everything working well. And
Out of the sun, Dave.
yeah, okay. All right, so that's today. Thank you, Jim, for caring for our bees.